Win some Proline tires, win some Proline tires, or you can win, get this puppy out of here, a winch. And it even comes with its little worn sticker. How cool is that, eh? So guys, that's going to be this year's competition. Some guys need tires, some guys need a winch. Write me in the comment which of the two you need, and I shall put you in the draw. Now let's get back into today's video. Where'd I put my LED lights? Found them. So I've got some LEDs. Don't you just hate it when that happens? Okay. I think this time I've just got a jet coming over. Well, it was actually a turboprop machine, but normally they don't come flying around here. They come in from that side. Anyway, so I have two LED lights lying around and I never really knew what I was going to do with them. So they've been lying around for years now. So finally I figured out, or put it this way, I was thinking, hang on a second, these are 12 volt. I can connect them up to my current lights on my little Jeep. And I could maybe illuminate the trail at night. So my first idea is to mount them underneath the fender at a little angle to see what illumination I can get out of them. So let's install these quickly and wait for nighttime. So what I've done is from this light here, I've connected a separate cable that can be connected to the LED lights. Then what I can do is I can kind of play around and see where I can place my LEDs, and let's see what position I find. Now, I don't really want to be screwing right through the metal of the fenders, so I think plastic fender is probably the way to go. Okay, for now I am just going to twist the wires for my test run, and later on I will probably get a proper plug, because I don't think the police are going to like this. So I will probably get a plug that I can unplug if I drive on the road, and then when I go onto a trail I can connect the lights and then use them on the trail only. So let's see if we can just get this wired up quickly. And my idea is to use this little lip on the inside and some self-tapping screws and just go into this plastic, not coming out the other side obviously, just using the inner lip of the actual fender. Okay, somewhere here. I hope I'm not blocking the camera while I'm working. Now the other screw. Not too bad. So from the outside I do not have any screws looking out or poking out, and on the inside the LED light is sitting just in this little bend of the fender, maybe shining onto the tire a little bit as well, but it will obviously shine forwards and maybe even to the side of the little Jeep. So it's finally gotten dark. We got the Jeep ready here and we have a pretty nice sunset going on behind us. That is La Palma. Normally you can't really see La Palma because it is hazy. But tonight, well, if it were to focus, no, doesn't want to focus. There, now we got it. Looking quite good. When you see La Palma, that actually means we're going to get a change of weather. If it's a good change or a bad change, that we have to wait and see. As well, on the left over here, we can actually see the volcano El Teide, me zoom into that. Come on, zoom a little bit. Also not really focusing. There we go, just a touch. Anyway, let's get back to the Jeep and the lights. Let's switch them on. 1, 2, 3, go. That's not too bad. So we have our normal side lights. This is all stock. We have the front lights shining down to the bottom, and then inside here, maybe zoom, not really focusing on that, shining down onto the tire and in front of the tire, giving me a little bit of headway, and also shining a little bit on the side of the tire. Let me actually step back a bit and we can actually see a little bit better what's going on. So it's just one light, well, one LED light with about 10 little LEDs inside it. I do not know the lumina at the moment, but this is not looking bad. That didn't work too well. That is in power. There it goes. Into the night. Ooh. Nice. Night lights on the Jeep. I actually like how we got that yellowy tinge in the front and that white LED light coming around the tire and lighting up the trailer a little bit. I think though the back of the Jeep needs a few lights as well. Okay, so it's the next day, and last night I was kind of okay with the lights that I got from the little LEDs in the front fender, but waking up this morning I'm like, we definitely need more lights on the side of the little Jeep. So I ran out to the China shop this morning and got me a 1.3 meter LED strip with 12 volt connection. Now the question is, where do I mount it? Do I mount it on the actual chassis rail? Question there is, if I do bottom out, I probably will tear out the whole thing, or maybe just snap 2 of the lights and then the rest of the LED strip won't work anymore. Or do I put it in a place which is maybe a little bit more protected? So let's get under the Jeep and let's see what a good position is. Alright, so coming underneath here, this is my little LED strip that I got with my cable connections, 1 plus 1 minus. Now I'm thinking, do I connect it to the chassis rail, which probably is kind of a good idea but maybe not such a good idea, or do I connect it in the center of the actual rock slider? Looking at the rock slider, I do have a few areas where I have touched. So looking at the transfer case plate and the rock slider, the angle, I kind of think my LEDs would be a little bit protected in kind of the center of the rock slider, not too far on the side, because the side does actually touch quite a bit. Even if it's just sand, I think the sand would actually just destroy the little LED strip. Although I must say this LED strip is protected by a little plastic tube. So kind of my idea is to run this strip in this area here, and it's kind of exactly 1.3. That is incredible. All I need to do is run this little cable up to the top and connect it to the other LED light. So first things first, let's give this a little bit of a clean. Oh, in case you didn't know, glass cleaner gets rid of a lot of fatty surfaces so that our double-sided tape actually sticks on this very well. That's just so clean. So all that's hanging out here is the little cable. So I'm going to connect another cable to it, run it underneath along the fender and connect it to the light. So at the moment I will just connect the wires, and then later on I'll buy a plug and connect them properly. Or maybe even I solder this area, and then in the front I'll have a plug that I can disconnect when I'm actually driving on the road. But I probably won't do that in the end. I'll probably just leave it like this. Also, the other thing, every time I will go through roadworthy, I'll probably be forced to take the LED strip off, go through roadworthy, and then later put it back on again. That's kind of how this is going to work. What I'm doing now is I'm just sliding the cable, because it's a very thin cable, sliding it in between the actual metal fender and the plastic fender and just pinching it and keeping it in there. So I pull the plastic fender down, place the cable in there, or wire, and let the fender go, and then just carry on doing that till I am in the front by the light here. So on LED strips you need to make sure that your plus is on plus and your minus is on minus. If you don't do that, your LED will not come on. So in this case, there you go, that's the direction. Okay, so I need to get this cable and this cable connected to that cable. So let me just see, that is running. Okay, because I have my lights on right now. I've taken the little bulb out of the fender. Okay, let's see how we're going to do this. I've got to kind of connect it, go under the Jeep and see if it's running. Okay, let's see if it's working. Nope. That must be the other way around then. Okay, let's see if that's working. Also no. Hello. Hello LED lights. You should be working. So those LEDs were broken. So I went back to the China shop and got myself a new set which connects to a USB. I'm not too sure about this one. Let's install it and give it a go. Okay, my basic idea will be connecting the USB, because it is a 5-volt system instead of a 12-volt system. connecting the USB to a battery bank. This battery bank says it runs for 10 hours. Let's see. Even if it runs for 5 hours, it's still okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to thread this through the chassis into the footwell of the Jeep, where I then can actually connect this battery bank to the inside so that the battery bank is not on the outside of the Jeep or lying somewhere in the chassis. So the battery will be on the inside, and this is the same thing. It's got a 3M double-sided tape on it, so I'm going to stick that at the bottom. The only difference is this is 3 meters where the other one was 1.3 meters. Okay, let's slide under here, figure out which direction. So I actually have a drain plug in the floor of this little Jeep. I made it myself, and I just threaded it through that little hole. Now, reading this correctly, that has to be connected to the positive wire. There we go. So now what I can do is run this down to here and kind of begin kind of in the same area where I started with the other LED strip. So we'll try and run it in the same kind of line and direction than the other one, because in my head these are the least possible contact points to rocks and obstacles. So I was just about to cut it off at the end of the rock slider when I thought, why don't I just keep going? So I found a little lip I can actually stick it to on the plastic of the mudguard or fender, bringing it up here and then bringing it down the other side. And let's see where I'm going to end up at. Okay, I've charged the little battery bank. Let's connect it quickly and let's turn it on. We have blue light, and what is happening underneath here? It looks like we have some LED lights. Well, we just gotta wait for night. But kind of looks like a bit of a Christmas tree, don't you think? So let's see how effective this 5-volt system is in the end. Only one thing left to do. Wait till the sun goes down. Don't really know when this is going to happen. Anyway. Ice cold out of the fridge. Beautiful. So we got sundown. I've been waiting for this, I don't even know, like 3 hours already. I think I've still got about 1.5 hours to go. Almost there. Let's dance. Let's turn on the bank. That is more than I expected. Let's go up into the trail. Hang on, let's first add the front lights to that. So this is what we have. That is looking a lot better than last night. So I'm sure running a 12-volt system would probably be the best idea. So I can't really recommend the 5-volt with a battery bank. So that's it from me this week from Turtle Works. Thanks for watching. See you next week. Bye.